What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are going to see the launch of the Guardian Games event for 2023. And so in this video we're going to talk a little bit about the rewards for the event. So if you're wondering what the weapons can roll with, we'll talk about the perk rolls, sources for the various pieces of gear that we can acquire in the event, including the armor, but also the Eververse inventory, all of the items that we'll be able to pick up for Bright Dust. And as always, some of those will also be available for silver. So if you're looking to avoid spending silver on items that later come up for Bright Dust, then hopefully that'll be helpful. But we'll also touch on new title seals, a few objectives and things worth knowing as we head into the event this year. So as always guys, I hope you find the video useful today, and if you do, a rating down below really does help us out on the channel, but otherwise let's get into it. And so starting out, let's talk about the armor for the event very briefly. And it looks like the class items for each class will be available for purchase from Eva Levante. Of course, the class items, I believe, are required in order to get medallion drops. And so those class items can be acquired from the event vendor, but in previous years, for the rest of the armor, those have been a purchase option in the Eververse store, so it seems pretty likely that it'll be the same this year. Otherwise, other items that affect gameplay during the event this year will be the weapons. And so firstly, there is the new scout rifle, the Tarek Zipas, and this is a strand lightweight frame scout rifle. So the first strand weapon in that archetype, and looking at the bonuses, for the main traits in the first slot, it'll be able to roll No Distractions, as well as Outlaw, Zen Moment, Fourth Time's the Charm, Moving Target, Offhand Strike, or Gut Shot Straight. Then the second trait slot can roll Keep Away, as well as Kill Clip, Encore, Focused Fury, Cascade Point, Hatchling, or Explosive Payload. And so there'll be a few different options there. And obviously Hatchling will be a very popular bonus on the weapon, but there are a couple of different roles that folks will want to go after, so give us your thoughts on them down below. And additionally, the Title SMG has been upgraded as well to feature a few new bonuses, so this is an aggressive frame Void SMG. And in the first trait slot, it'll still be able to roll Perpetual Motion, Threat Detector, Envious Assassin, and Dynamic Sway Reduction. But also Pugilist, Offhand Strike, and Shot Swap have been added as well. Then in the second trait slot, it can roll Surrounded, Vorpal Weapon, Repulsor Brace, or Rangefinder, but also has the possibility to roll Swashbuckler, Focused Fury, or Gut Shot Straight. So give us your thoughts on those rolls down below, and let us know if you plan to go after any of the updated weapons this year. Otherwise, the Champ title is being added as well, so it's the first time that Guardian Games gets a title. And to unlock this, we'll need to complete 16 of the available triumphs. So as always, there'll be a bit of grind involved there, and there are various rewards for the triumphs, including enhancement cores, medallions, prisms, and event tickets. But even an exotic sparrow, the Luminous Paragon, is available for the Platinum Triumph. But on top of that, for any folks working on the Reveler title, that requires the completion of event card challenges during each of the 4 calendar seasons. So by completing those challenges and earning the title for this year, it will be the first opportunity for anyone to earn the Reveler title. So let us know down below if you're planning on going after either the new Champ title or finishing up the Reveler title for the year. And finally here, let's get onto the projected Eververse inventory. And as always, if you're planning to pick up any of the items, this may be useful for planning your in-game finances and whether you plan to pick stuff up for silver when it's available, or indeed wait for Bright Dust in a few instances. And so for week 1 of the event, starting today the 2nd of May, we'll see the Stand on Ceremony exotic emote available, and that will be 3250 Bright Dust. And then there is the Free Throw rare emote, which will be 400 Bright Dust, as well as the Cyber Class Entrance Transmat effect. That will cost 450 Bright Dust. Then we'll see the shader up for grabs, which will be 300 Bright Dust as always. Otherwise, in week 1, we'll also see the Represent exotic emote. That one will also be 3250 Bright Dust. Then there is the low score legendary emote, which will be 700 Bright Dust. And we'll see the return of the hashtag sponsored shell in week 1, which will be 2850 Bright Dust. And then today in Destiny lists the Shadowbox exotic sparrow. That'll be 2,500 Bright Dust, but for 2,000, we'll be able to pick up the Stygian Corsair exotic ship. But week 1 of the event will feature the Guardian Games of X Mythoclast tournament for 1,250 Bright Dust, as well as the Gold Medal projection, which is a legendary ghost projection, and that costs 1,500 Bright Dust. Moving on to week 2 of Guardian Games though, which will begin on the 9th of May, we'll see the Reigning Champion exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust, as well as the exotic ghost shell, the Plus shell, that will be up for 2,850. And we'll see the Cherry Blossom entrance Transmat effect, which will be 450 Bright Dust. And the featured Guardian Games shader for that week will be Rivalry White Sand, which as always will cost 300 Bright Dust. We're also going to see the Curling Shuffle exotic multiplayer emote. That'll be 4,250 Bright Dust, so pretty expensive. Plus there'll be the Weightlifter legendary emote for 700. And for the same price, we'll be able to pick up the high score emote for week 2. But additionally, there will be the Champion Shell, that's an exotic ghost, for 2,850 Bright Dust. And there'll also be the Vie for Glory exotic Sparrow, which will be 2,500 Bright Dust. And Today in Destiny also lists the Victor's Palanquin, which will be 2,000 Bright Dust on the second week. And the final unique item for that week will be the Guardian Games Projection, which will be up for 1,500 Bright Dust. Finally though, for the third week of the event, which will begin on the 16th of May, we'll see the Torchlight exotic emote. That one's going to cost 3,250 Bright Dust. And the Triple Bogey exotic Sparrow is also listed at 2,500 Bright Dust. But additionally, we'll get the Contender's Entrance Transmat effect for 450 Bright Dust. And the featured shader for week 3 will be Photo Finish, which will cost 300 Bright Dust. Additional items for the third week though include the Gladiator Blows exotic multiplayer emote. Again, that's 4,250 Bright Dust. And we'll see the Powerlift legendary emote for 700 Bright Dust, which is followed by the exotic Ghost Shell, the Tug of War Shell, and that's up for 2,850 Bright Dust. Then we'll get the Pistol Pose Guardian Games Sparrow for 2,500. As well as the Victory's Herald exotic ship for 2,000 Bright Dust. And on week 3 we'll also get the weapon ornament for Heir Apparent, and that's the Triumphant ornament, which will be 1,250 Bright Dust, and the very final item is the Trophy Projection, which will be up for 1,500 Bright Dust in the third week. So that does it for the full Eververse inventory that we can see right now, guys. There's always a small chance that some of those items are subject to change, although typically they are correct, so let us know any things that you'll be looking out for, and hopefully that'll be useful for planning what Bright Dust and Silver perhaps that you want to spend during the event. Of course, outside of the Eververse inventory, there will also be additional cosmetic items which are linked to the event card. We can't get a preview of all of those items just yet, but of course the good thing is that all of the event card items are kind of laid out inside of the card, with the various objectives and threshold required to unlock them outlined on that page as well, so that side of things is pretty self-explanatory. And otherwise for today, that is everything that we have to speak about. So as always, I hope the video has been useful, and if it has, a rating below really does help us out on the channel. Plus, be sure to get subscribed, and I will keep you posted with more Destiny content. Otherwise though, for now, thank you as always for tuning in, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.
Magnificent! Fight forever, Guardian!